Last year was an amazing year, and I met so many wonderful people, most especially the emerging techies, and I was asked tons of questions. But the most common question was, Ramat, how do I gain my very first experience in tech? And I got why this question was coming. Most of them were currently enrolled in a program or just completed a course. And most of the entry level jobs out there are telling them that they must have like 1 year experience or this or that. And it can be quite confusing because, I just completed a course. I'm looking for someone to hire me, but you're telling me that I must have had a year experience. And how will I get that experience if nobody is willing to give me a chance to gain that experience? Honestly, have been there and it can be quite overwhelming. And that is why I am doing this video today to share with you several ways you can gain your very first experience in tech. But before we go into it, let me introduce myself. My name is Ramata Falabi. I'm a product manager and I've been in tech for more than 5 years. Yes, you heard that right. Yeah, so you're thinking if you have been in tech, then it should be a big shot in tech by now. Well, when I started my career in tech, I wasn't so sure of the right career path for me. So I was just wondering and exploring. I was jumping from front end development to back end development to data science till 2021 that I decided to go into product management. And that has been life changing. So, long story cut short. Now, before we go into the main thing again, I would like to clear the air and talk about some of the misconceptions in tech. You must have heard that tech is the new oil, there is money in tech, which is absolutely correct. But tech is not a quick money scheme. It is not like you join tech this week, then you start balling next week. No. It's not like you join tech, then you start earning in dollar in 3 weeks or in 3 months or in 6 months. No. Tech requires sacrifices, dedication, commitment. It's all about you putting in the work. It takes a whole lot from you. It takes your time, your efforts, your willingness to learn. That is why you must be a lifelong learner. You must love learning, right? For you to really survive, you must have a thick skin. You really want to be in tech. And tech is a journey, it is a gradual process. It's all about competence, it's all about skill mastery. So, please get rid of the thoughts that I'm going to come into tech, to start balling. It all requires a lot from you, and it will require a lot from you. Okay, so the second misconception is, I want to start my journey in tech, but I don't have the best system. You don't need to have the best system if you want to be in tech. If you have a system already, then that is good to go. That is all what you need. Most people started their journey in tech without a system, like without a laptop, without a PC. I started my journey with just my phone, that's a smartphone. I believe that there are several other people that also started with this. So if you have a system, that is fantastic. So you can just start with that. Then as you're growing, your tools and your equipment will also be growing with you. So start with whatever you have, wherever you are, and you are good to go. So without further ado, let's get into the main thing. The very first way to gain your first experience in tech is by volunteering. I forgot to mention when I introduced myself earlier that I am an avid volunteer. I love volunteering. So if you're like me, you love giving back to the community, you love giving back to society, volunteering is one way you can gain your very first experience in tech. There are several non-governmental organizations, non-profit organizations, and even early stage startups that needs your skills, your expertise, right? There are some early stage startup that doesn't have the fund, to hire experts, so they are willing to get volunteers who are willing to be part of their team. So how can you do this? You can just reach out to these founders on social media platforms like X, formerly Twitter, or on LinkedIn. Just message them and say, hi, I'm so person. I just completed so program and I'm willing to be part of your team to contribute to so and so. And I would like to do this for free so that I can also gain experience. You can make this better. And another way you can do this is by checking out this platform called Skilled Up Life. I was recently just searching, then I came across this platform. I haven't applied myself, but based on the contents on that website, it connects volunteers with early stage startups. So this is something that you can also check out and see if that works for you. So the next way to gain your very first experience in tech is by contributing to open source projects. I don't know if you have heard of open source projects. Open source projects are projects that are open to everyone, and anybody can modify the source code, right? An example of open source projects are Mozilla, Wikimedia. So you can start, and open source is not just for developers or programmers. Whether you have uh, a coding career or a non-coding career, you can always contribute to open source projects. So all you have to do is just for you to join the community, the open source community. Then you can introduce yourself. You go to their GitHub. Then you can start with a beginner friendly task there. Then you can also kind of like go through their websites. If there's room for improvements, maybe you are a product designer, you say that, oh, this website, maybe this button doesn't align, or this test isn't well placed. You can say, okay, you can suggest this to the community members. And one good thing about open source is that it has a whole lot of community members, like people all across the globe, right, the globe rather, contributing to this project. And these people are willing to help you, to mentor you, because most of them are experts. So you can easily get yourself a mentor and also expand your network. And you're as well building a reputation, right? So, and another way for you to start your journey in open source is by applying for outreach internships. Outreach internships are paid internships that is, they pay you for contributing to open source projects, and you can just check that out. I was once an outreach intern, and if you need guidance on this, I'm available. You can just send an email to me, or you can just message me on social media. I am on Facebook, I am on LinkedIn, I am on X, and I'm on Instagram. Just my name, Ramata Falabi, and you can always see me there. So the next way for you to gain your very first experience is internal transition at a company. So yeah, I am assuming that you're already working in a tech company, but not in a tech role. Saying that maybe you are an executive assistant or a secretary, or something that is not tech, a job that is not, a role that is not tech related. So, and you're trying to say, okay, I want to become a product manager. So you can do the transition. You don't need to start applying for jobs outside. You can just stay where you are, at your current organization, and just do the internal transition. So you can just reach out to your boss, that the person you directly report to, or the HR department, or even the department that you want to join. That's the team lead of that department. You can just let them know, okay, you know what, I just completed this course and I would like to be part of your department. And another way for you to really prove yourself is you can kind of like work on a case study, like the products, their products, their services, the problem you're trying to solve. You can just say, okay, you know what, I did this simple case study on how we can make this product better, on how we can make this service better. You can just do that and just share it with them. Just your way of saying that, yeah, I'm really interested, and I think how we contribute to this department, to this team. Right, you can do that there. And another way for you to gain your very first experience in tech is by participating in hackathons. I am very big on this. I love hackathons, and I've participated in a lot of hackathons, which includes Microsoft's, Encode Clubs, Antenna Hacks, and several others. Right. So hackathon is all about you coming together, forming a team to build a real world solution, to solve a real world problem. So it's just like you working in an organization, like you have been employed, you're working with a team of developers, engineers, QA testers, designers, product management, sales team, and everybody is working together, you know. So it's just the same way, but the difference is just that you have limited time. Hackathons are mostly like 2 days, 2 weeks, at most 1 month. So within this short period of time, you'll be able to solve a problem and build it. You call it like MVP or sometimes prototype, that you have to show that, okay, this is our solution. This is how we intend to solve this problem. This is what we want to offer to people, right? So you do this. So hackathons, if you're a product manager or a developer or a designer, hackathon is a very good way for you to gain experience. And there are tons of hackathons worldwide. And you can just Google search hackathons. I can see that the Dev Post hackathon is already open, so you can start applying. And you can also go to Eventbrite. Eventbrite is just search for 2024 hackathons. You're going to see the list of hackathons already available this year. So you can start applying depending on your interest. If you're passionate about eradicating poverty, or you're passionate about good quality education, gender inequality, or you want to learn more about AI, you want to learn about blockchain, whatever it is that you're interested in, there is always that hackathon for you to really go into that. So the next way for you to get your very first experience is by working on a project. You're building on your own project. Is there a problem that you really want to solve that is personal to you? Like something that has been disturbing your mind. Say, oh, I wish there's a product that is solving this problem. You can be the solver of that product, of that problem rather. That's a mistake. You can be the solver of that problem. You can decide to solve that problem, which is very good way, just like you working on a solo project, or at times you can just collaborate with other people to work on it, but most times it's just you and your problem, you just trying to solve it. And if you're not a developer, you're not a programmer, you're not an engineer, be like, how do I build something? There are so many no-code platforms that you can leverage if you're a designer. Or if you're a designer, I think it's quite good. You can just create the prototype of the design. You can just show it out, say, I did this. I think this is a problem that I would like to solve. And I think that you can even see like a developer will say, oh, I love this design. I want to build it, right? So, and if you're a product manager, you can just leverage app like platforms like bubble.io or webflow, to bring the idea to life. Like you're building it. It's very simple to use. It's all about drag and drop. Right. Another way for you to gain your very first experience is by improving existing products. Let's say that your favorite product is WhatsApp. That's my favorite product, right? So let's say your favorite product is also WhatsApp, and you want to improve WhatsApp. I've been thinking of WhatsApp adding an edit feature to status, right? So I don't know. I'm very, very good at making typos, right? So I really need that edit feature on WhatsApp status, right? So if something can just say, okay, I want to work on this, and what will be the goals, what will be the metrics? Is it going to be like user retention, user activation? What will be the end goal of that thing that you are adding? Is it that feature that you want to add, or you want to fix a bug, or you want to do something? You can just create a case study on this. So these are something that you can add to your portfolio, right? And the last way for you to gain your very first experience in tech is by freelancing. This is quite hard because it's competitive. Freelancing platforms are kind of like saturated right now. There are so many people there already, and it can be challenging, right? But if you have thick skin, you really still want to go into it, people are still doing it, people are still joining, and some people are still making it. So in life, it's all about consistency, and stuff like that, how willing you are, your dedication and stuff like that, right? So if you really want to go into freelancing, you can just check out platforms like Upwork, freelancer.com, and so many other. I think one thing I'll just say is that Google should be your friend always. So I think one core skill in 2024 is the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So you must be learning every day, right? So thank you so much for listening so far. I am super excited to be doing this, to be sharing my little knowledge with you. So if you have really enjoyed this video, do leave a comment for me. And if there's anything or any question that you want me to answer in my next video, because I will be doing this regularly, maybe like once in a month or once in a while, but I will be doing this, right? So if there's anything you want me to talk about in my next video, do let me know. Thank you so much, and it's your girl Ramat.